following this WikiLeaks business, and it seems to me that WikiLeaks gave the American public an incredible gift, the truth, and the First Amendment. And a lot of corporations and those in power seem to be afraid of this gift. And I think we need to make a stand and perhaps go out and tell people that Santa approves giving, and especially this great gift of tearing away the veil of ignorance and lies the American mass media has pulled over the American public. They say, I did some research, Santas, and not a single person has apparently died because of these releases, yet over 100,000 Iraqi civilians died because of ignorance. Ignorance that was pushed on the American public about what was actually going on internationally. Ignorance and lies that have killed thousands of American troops and bankrupted the American government. That's naughty.
Really naughty.
Colon switches all around. It's like the American right thinks that the panic rhetoric that they used on 9/11 to scare everybody from exercising their First Amendment rights is a one-size-fits-all tool that they can use for anything. Santa's not down with that kind of action. No deal.
I made a list, Santa. I've got my list right here. We've got, our nice list is WikiLeaks and all the boys and girls out there in the world. And we've got a naughty list here, and the naughty list is the U.S. government and the world corporations and those lying politicians, and yeah.
Man, I've been practicing all year. Man, I could use some nice fat politician butt right now to give them what they deserve. But WikiLeaks is giving them better than this. I mean, it's not quite as satisfying as the good switching, taking these CEOs and lying Republicans and Democrats and the corporate mass media, bending them over the table and giving them what for. But Julian Assange's way of doing it works as well, But I prefer the old ways. So I think who is it? PayPal? Yes, PayPal's going to get a visit.
Naughty.
Those fat PayPal heinies trying to cut off their ability to defend themselves.
MasterCard and Visa.
MasterCard and Visa.
Naughty.
We're going to have to get some colon switches for those fools. It's the truth. The truth is the greatest antiseptic. And, we know in the North Pole what it is, what embedding is. That's what ticks do and parasites. They embed into ticks and leeches. The media is all shocked. Santa finds it so ironic when he's watching CNN and Fox News, or as the Germans like to pronounce it, Fox News. And how they whine a baby about WikiLeaks releases too much information. Santa finds it refreshing that it's like having a real media again, not just a bunch of sounding board embedded ticks and leeches like the American mass media has become. If we'd had a real media, they would have known that there weren't weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Thousands of American troops would still be alive. Over 100,000 Iraqi civilians would not be dead right now. And a lot of those were children. And Santa's not down with that. All the children that have been maimed and destroyed. And the basis of all this was ignorance. Ignorance and lies and misinformation. And WikiLeaks has torn the veil off those lies and misinformation. And Santa thinks that's a great present to the American public. We should be very receptive to it, because they used to have something, I believe. It was called the First Amendment. That's right.
First Amendment.
The First Amendment. Santa thinks that that's a good idea, and that's a good gift to give to the American public.
Well, here's to WikiLeaks and all independent media around the world. May they keep reporting.
To the truth and the First Amendment.
Oh,
naughty. Government's been very naughty lately.
I support WikiLeaks because they gave the American public the biggest gift of all that's human. The truth.
Julian Assange and WikiLeaks gave the American public the greatest gift of all, the truth, the First Amendment. Some don't like that. Santa loves when gifts are given. That's why I'm coming out to support WikiLeaks today. seems like people argue that that it's endangered lives, but it seems like what's got the highest body count right now is American ignorance of what their government is up to. It's caused over 100,000 Iraqis to die of that ignorance, and WikiLeaks is the antiseptic, the antidote to that ignorance. Ignorance is the greatest thing that's causing body counts right now.
How many people have died because of the WikiLeaks releases? Zero. Zero. Supposed to be doing for decades. We're watching all these computer journalists
Today to let the people of East Tennessee and Knoxville know that WikiLeaks is on his nice list. 250,000 of these cables show that the U.S. government has been involved in really naughty business.
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange!
Nice.
That man knows who's been nice.
Well, Santa got extraordinary rendition from the CIA for flying over the North Pole last year. They put electrodes to Santa Claus' testicles and nipples, and Santa felt that just wasn't called for.